Good evening and thank you for being with us. I'm Rob Caldwell.
And I'm Samantha York. Coming up tonight on 207, we're joined in the kitchen by chef and culinary instructor Bo Byrne. He's sharing a recipe for blackened fish tacos, a classic summer dish you can easily make at home.
And later in this half hour, Portland Press Herald music writer Aimsel Ponti joins us to preview upcoming concerts around the state, including where you can see Maine's Andy Fawcett. But first tonight, in the mid-2000s, Samantha Martin came up with a business idea. She began training her cats to be on TV. She said they got some work, but then she saw the number of cats being abandoned in her area, so she started adopting more and got the idea to take her highly skilled felines on the road.
Now she travels the country each year with 16 cats, some helpers, and a tour bus. As they pulled into Portland, David Guilford stopped by for night one of this circus.
You guys are very important cat people. Ooh. So here's your pamphlet. Perfect. And you're all set to head in.
Meow, Portland!
The success is about the imperfections. It's about the cats doing what they want to do, and they know that the cats are willing and wanting to be up here because they can just leave. They're not tied down. They're not forced to be here. They're out in the audience.
Hey, Annie, right here. Annie's headed towards the bar.
This is, I believe, their 7th time coming to Portland and coming to our theater. And it's an amazing show that promotes rescue animals and promotes just working with cats and how incredibly smart they are and that they can be trained. And the wonderful part of the show is it's not only about what the cats do on command, but also sometimes what they don't do.
So you start out trying to get cats into commercial work, and then you build this grand show.
It was started out small. I went to a hardware store at IKEA and got, I had 2 ladders and a rope, and as soon as the cat started walking across the rope, the ladder started to, I was like, oh no, so I bungee corded weights to the ladders, and then I discovered sandbags.
Of the 100 plus events that you host throughout a given year, where does this rank on a scale from totally traditional to out there?
The cat show is definitely our most interesting show that raises the eyebrows and gets the whiskers going.
All right, drum roll, please.
You make a point of only using rescue cats in your shows. And you've talked about the hundreds of cats that you've helped to foster and get adopted as you've traveled around. Is there something that you hope the audience takes away after all of this fades?
Well, we want them to go home and build a relationship with their cat. I'm helping keep cats in the home rather than being just discarded because nobody bothered to develop a relationship because people don't know. People don't think about it. Everybody knows about dog training, but there's so much you can do with a cat, just like with dogs.
Are cats underestimated in that sense? We all have an image of these, whether they're working professional dogs on a farm or these agility trained dogs. We see them on TV sometimes. How underestimated are cats in this world?
Oh, cats are brilliant. People think that they can't be trained, but that's just not true. I mean, dogs, they'll do anything for you. I love you, I'll do anything. Cats are a little bit like, well, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
Like, I have cats that will say to me, you know, that they'll look at me and go, what do you got?
I am so happy.
Our resident cat nut is flipping out here.
Listen, I have 4 cats, so as they say, I am 1 cat short of crazy, and this is amazing. Like I said, I should have been taking notes this whole time because I could put on a circus in my house.
You know what? You can go to our website and watch that story 50 times, and you probably will.
I will. Actually, it will be bookmarked. By the way, the Acro-Cats are in the middle of a 3-week residency at the Hill Arts. They have shows running through August 30th.
Coming up next here on 207, it's a dish that tastes like summer. Chef Bo Byrne will join us in the kitchen and share his recipe for making blackened fish tacos at home. It is always fun when we are joined in the 207 kitchen at our Maine studios by Chef Bo Byrne. He teaches culinary arts at Southern Maine Community College, and he is also a private chef with his own business called 4-Course Fix. He's with us today making blackened fish tacos.
Blackened fish tacos. This is one of my favorite summertime dinners here. So we have this at my house probably once a week right now.
Nice.
And just make sure that pan is warming up. So what we do with this is the first step is going to be making these pickled red onions.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a really simple recipe. I do 75% is apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
And then the last 25% of that is water. So about 3/4 cup vinegar, 1/4 cup of water. Some people prefer a 50-50. If you have a favorite pickling recipe,
always, do it as you
do
wish.
what you like.
Yeah.
I don't like to use sugar in mine. I like to use some local honey.
Just a little shot of honey.
So we'll do a little shot of honey. Again, slightly different for me, but if you prefer sugar, do that.
Okay.
A little bit of a crack of salt. And then that's really it. It's that simple for me.
Okay.
And when this comes to a boil, we're gonna add these sliced onions to it.
Right.
And then in about half an hour to 45 minutes, they're gonna turn into that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is something you could even do the day before. It'll last for weeks in your fridge.
Weeks, so this is something you can do
Absolutely.
way ahead of time.
So you can have this for many, many projects.
Okay.
Next piece of this is gonna be, we're just gonna be cooking this fish. You could do any fish you like. We're gonna be doing haddock today.
And fresh Maine haddock is pretty hard to beat.
It is pretty hard to beat. It's fantastic. And for this particular dish, it flakes up so well. It cooks in a matter of maybe 6 minutes total.
What kind of heat have you got going there, Bo?
I've
That's
got
best?
just slightly over a medium heat. So
Okay.
probably like a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Right?
Right, and then I always put the lid on when I do this.
Okay.
You don't want to flip these. So these are going to sear only on that one side, and then they're just going to finish cooking kind of under the lid like that.
Okay, that's good to know, because I think most people are inclined to make sure that things get cooked on both sides. Not needed in this case.
Absolutely, right? And I also, in this case too, I didn't season both sides, and that's a little trick also to help maybe control the spice level. The final components here, as that's kind of finishing up, we'll take some shells out of the oven like this. If you have a taco type stand, it's really easy to put these in here and do something like this. These are mine and my wife's from our house.
Yeah, yours says Bo's Tacos,
Yeah,
so
Bo's
clearly
Tacos
Bo knows
and
tacos.
Jill's Tacos here, right? But if you don't have those, which a lot of people probably won't, you can absolutely just put 3 of them onto a plate, kind of like this.
There you go. That's a good little trick right
And
there.
then they'll be able to kind of stay open for you just the same.
Yeah, and that's one that probably a lot of folks have never seen before, and it couldn't be simpler.
Yeah, that's so super easy to do. This is a citrus aioli. So what I do for this, I do a little bit of some egg and some garlic and some Dijon mustard.
Right.
And I get that blending in the food processor before I add a little bit of some canola oil.
Okay.
And then kind of let that continue to build up, add a little bit more lemon as it needs to kind of rebalance it out.
Yes.
And then a little bit of some lemon and lime zest to finish it off. We've got some beautiful cabbage here that we shredded like this. And feel free, again, this is one of those things where tacos can be totally personalized. If you don't like cabbage, you could switch it to lettuce.
Right.
Or if you like a softer cabbage, maybe Napa cabbage for you, incorporate a little bit of color with some red cabbage is beautiful also.
I think this is part of the reason why tacos have become so enormously popular, is because they're really easy to adapt. So if you're not happy with your taco, just change it.
So here, like I said, after about 6 or 7 minutes or so here, the fish is going to be cooked like this, and it's going to be flaky. And then I like to come at it with one of these, and I just find that it just really perfectly allows me to kind of cut through into the fish.
Yes.
And then I can even use it as a spatula to put them into each of the shells themselves. Something kind of like that.
They look good, they smell good.
Smell fantastic, right? And these cook so fast.
And yeah, this is not a complicated dish, so this is something that comes together pretty quickly. You said you make this at home once a week.
Once a week, right? And you could do this with shrimp. You could do this with scallops. You could do this with halibut. You could do it with hake. You could absolutely switch it up to something else. You could do this with some chicken, just the same if you'd want to do a fish taco. But the spice is really what I'm after here. So
the spice and the pickles that you've made in advance, quite likely.
And now these get layered right over the top. And you don't want to go too skimpy with these pickled red onions.
Yeah, I call them pickles. Not, that was a misspoke. Pickled onions, obviously.
Yeah, pickled onions. Put these right on here like this. These are fantastic. And some sliced lime. Really thin. Just going to give you a little bit of juice. Acidity. Again, that acidic punch is going to cut through the spice.
How good do those look?
Blackened fish tacos.
The recipe's on our website, NAP. Head to newscentermaine.com, the 207 section. That's where you're going to find the recipe. And you're going to find more information about Bo Byrne's private chef business, 4-Course Fix.
4coursefix.com.
Thank you so much, Bo.
Thanks for having me.
Stay with us. Back with more right after this.
Summer in Maine is something to savor, especially if you are out enjoying our state's live music scene. August might be almost over, but there are still plenty of live shows to check out. And Portland Press Herald music writer Aimsel Ponti is here with a little snapshot.
I've got a stack.
Of what?
2 sheets of paper
We've got a lot
constitutes
to
a stack.
get through this time. All right, and first on the list is Khaki King. Who's this?
Khaki King. This is tomorrow night at the gorgeous Vinegar Hill Music Theater in Arundel. Khaki King is like quite honestly, and I will die on this hill, one of the greatest guitarists that's ever lived.
Oh,
she is absolutely phenomenal, very innovative. She does this whole percussive tapping, and sometimes she sings. I've been a fan of hers forever. I've seen her a number of times. This is going to be phenomenal, and it's K-A-K-I. But sounds like the pants that we all used to wear in the 90s from the Gap. But Khaki King, you gotta trust me, she did the music from Into the Wild. She did some stuff for the Into the Wild score and August Rush.
Okay.
There's a bunch of music out. Absolutely enthralling.
Someone to check out. All right, and somebody else to check out is Andy Fawcett. Tell us about her.
Andy Fawcett is a local singer-songwriter. She does originals, she does covers. She's been a staple of the local music scene, so much so that she is celebrating her 30th anniversary as a performer. Huge blowout party at the Porthole, and actually, I'm going to go to that. It's actually going to be it's weird on Saturday, my third party of the day on Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah, two parties before that, and then I'm going to land at the Porthole. She's playing with her band Doubting Gravity after dark, and then the funk jam band Skosh is going to close out the night so that Andy can actually mingle. I'm very excited for that. Congrats, Andy. She's just a little vibrato in her voice. Huge fan.
Drink lots of water that day, Aimsel. You're going to have a
not wrong.
marathon
you
day.
Are not wrong.
All right, and then we have Guitar Women, an evening with Sue Foley and Rory Block.
Yeah,
like a good time.
I guess I'm like all about the guitar women who play guitar. So Sue Foley and Rory Block are both like legendary blues guitarists. This is going to be awesome. Sunday night, Portland House of Music. Boom. I mean, it's one of those if you know, you know. And if you're curious, I think there are still tickets left.
And I feel like the next act, too. If you know, you know. And I feel like you really know.
Well, I try to know.
I
know a little bit.
Girl.
Okay, first of all, I already left my heart at the Cross Insurance Arena for Brandi Carlile. It has been piecing itself back together, like the Terminator 2 when he steps on the liquid metal and he reconstitutes himself. That's my heart has been reassembling itself. And Tuesday night, this is August 25th, Thompson's Point. It is the first time they are headlining. Ooh. They played with the aforementioned Brandi a couple years ago, legendary night. The first time that they are headlining. Their backup singer, a good friend, Lucy Wainwright Roche, who's a phenomenal singer-songwriter, is actually opening the show. I remember the time when I came so close to you. I'm hysterical. I don't know how I'm getting through until between now and Tuesday night. I will be there. If you see me, please say hi.
Yeah.
Or if I haven't fainted.
Oh my God. Well, should be a good time then.
All right.
And then we have Lizzie and the Triggermen. Tell me about
Okay,
this one.
so cool. This is August 29th at the Boothbay Opera House. I think I have to make the trek up there. I haven't been to Boothbay in a couple years. So Lizzie and Triggermen, they call themselves Resistance Swing. They're LA based. There's 10 people in the band, horns and all this stuff. And it is, they're a 10-piece jazz band, and they do some originals, and then they do old tunes.
Ooh.
And she is a phenomenal vocalist.
When that man is dead.
It marries big band with the rage of punk. So it is very unique, great singer. So stuff from the 20s, 30s, 40s, but also some more modern stuff. They actually do a Britney Spears song sometimes, which is crazy. And I can't say it enough. They're new to me. They've been around for a while. And I just interviewed Lizzie the other day for a Press Herald story, and this is going to be a great show.
Yeah, a little
Trust
something
me,
for everybody.
New to you probably, and to most people, because they've never played in Maine before.
Yep.
So this is going to be awesome.
Should be a good show. And I'm looking forward to this one. Portland Yacht Rock Festival with Ship to Shore.
Okay, so they've now expanded to 2 nights, September 4th and 5th at Aura. Tickets are flying. And the Ship to Shore, it's a local supergroup. Don Campbell and Owen Confort, Max Cantlin, Gina Librio. It's just, they have 15 different people on stage generally. And Chris Rogers on keys is one of my favorite singers. Classic hits, Toto, America, Christopher Cross, Fleetwood Mac, Michael McDonald, etc. 2 huge sets. And yacht rock has become my love language. I drive a few people, the person I live with, a little bit crazy with my yacht rock obsession.
It just makes your day better.
It just makes me happy.
Instantly.
It makes me, my dog loves it though, when I start busting out into Christopher. Odie's just like, yep, let's do Christopher Cross, mama. So that's going to be awesome. And I have a lightning round.
Okay, we have a little time, so let's wrap it up.
All right, here we go. This is all just like, trust me. Look this up later and just go to these shows.
Okay.
Friday night, Portland House of Music, River Shook. They are awesome. Let's see, August 30th, Maine Middle Eastern Orchestra at the Portland Conservatory of Music. Completely awesome. Katie Curtis, Jonathan's, August 30th, Album Release Show. September 3rd, Live at Madrid's has the Yonder Mountain String Band. September 4th, Tom Rush at the Camden Opera House. Also September 4th, an evening with Preservation Hall Jazz Band at the Criterion in Bahaba. And September 11th, we've got Carla Bonoff at Stone Mountain Arts Center.
Time.
Go see some music.
Love it. All right.
See you at the Indigo Girls.
Aimsel Ponti.
I'll be freaking out.
Always good to see you.
Likewise.
If you want to learn more about these shows, just head to the 207 section of our website and app and stay with us. We're back right after this.
Coming up tomorrow on 207, a few years ago, Caroline Bix got a remarkable offer. She was invited to spend a year doing research in Stephen King's archives in Bangor, the first person outside of King's family or foundation ever granted that access.
Caroline Bix is a professor at the University of Maine who teaches a course on King. She started reading him when she found one of his books at the library when she was a teenager.
I grabbed it because the cover was so shocking. I didn't know anything about Stephen King. And then I was pulled right in. The Boogeyman, story number 6. I still can't sleep next to an open closet. And from there, I just couldn't stop.
Now Caroline Bix has written a book on what she learned from her years spent in the Stephen King archives. She's going to share that experience with us tomorrow on 207. And thanks for being with us tonight. Thanks again for putting up with the cats.
We'll see you tomorrow. I love the cats, Rob.